I'm going to be honest with you, my first year in Australia was rough. I was wrestling with this constant, gnawing homesickness, and I just couldn't shake the feeling that I was an outsider. I was so close to packing my bags and calling it quits. But then, something clicked. I discovered one single mindset shift that completely changed the game for me. It's what unlocked the happy, successful Aussie life I was dreaming of, and I'm going to share it with you. Section 1, The Downward Spiral. When I first landed here, I was doing it all wrong. I was basically trying to jam my old life into a new country, and, surprise, it was making me miserable. I'd spend my weekends on a hopeless quest for the exact same brand of coffee I loved back home, only to end up disappointed. I'd scroll through Instagram, seeing photos of my friends and family, and every post was a gut punch of guilt and loneliness. The time difference was a nightmare, making it hard to stay in touch, and every missed call felt like a thread to home being snipped. And the culture? I was lost. I didn't get the slang, the humor felt like a different language, and the whole no-worries attitude sometimes felt like no one actually cared. Someone would say, "How you going?" and my brain would just buffer, trying to find the right way to answer. Every tiny difference, from how people hang out to the fact that shops close ridiculously early, was a constant reminder of how far away from home I was. It was like I was living behind a glass wall, watching everyone else go about their lives while I was stuck in this weird limbo. If that sounds familiar, you need to know you're not alone, and it's totally normal. Section 2, The Breaking Point. My breaking point hit me about 8 months in. I was on a video call for my sister's birthday, seeing them all together, laughing, sharing inside jokes that I wasn't a part of anymore, and it just broke me. After I hung up, I just sat there in my silent apartment and the thought, "What on earth am I doing here?" started playing on a loop. The exciting Aussie adventure I'd pictured felt like a total fantasy. I was just so tired of trying so hard to fit into a place I was also kind of resisting. I was ready to book a one-way ticket home. It was right there, in that moment of rock bottom, that I realized something had to give. And it wasn't going to be Australia. It had to be me. Section 3, The Mindset Shift. The mindset shift that changed everything for me was this: I decided to stop trying to recreate my old life and start actively building a new one. It sounds so simple, right? But it's a huge change in perspective. Instead of fighting all the differences, I decided to get curious about them. Instead of looking at Australia for everything it wasn't, I started seeing it for everything it was. So, what did that actually look like? First, I decided to embrace the unknown. That specific coffee I couldn't find? I gave up on it. Instead, I turned it into a game to find the best local Aussie coffee. Suddenly, a point of frustration became a fun little adventure. The slang I didn't get? I just started asking, "Sorry, what does that mean?" and learned to laugh at myself when I got it wrong. That vulnerability led to way more genuine conversations than just nodding along like I knew what was up. Second, I had to go from being a spectator to an actual participant. I realized I was just waiting for friends and opportunities to magically appear. But that's not how life works. So I forced myself to get out there. I joined a local hiking group I found online, even though I was terrified. I started saying yes to community events and workshops. Taking part in local activities is a fantastic way to feel more connected and less like a tourist. Finally, I had to redefine what home even meant. Home isn't just a place you miss, it's a feeling of belonging you can create for yourself. I started making my apartment feel like mine with new things I found here, not just relics from my old life. I built new routines, finding a local park for a run, hitting up a favorite weekend market. And most importantly, I started building a new support system, my chosen family of other expats and local mates who actually got what I was going through. Section 4, The Transformation. Once I made that mental switch, it was like night and day. Life just felt lighter. That constant, heavy feeling of being an outsider started to dissolve, and a real sense of belonging took its place. My weekends went from being long and lonely to being packed with new plans and new friends. I wasn't just surviving in Australia anymore, I was actually thriving. The little things, like a barista remembering my coffee order or sharing a proper laugh with a coworker over some ridiculous Aussie slang, felt like massive wins. I was finally building a life that felt like my own, a life I was genuinely excited to wake up to. Look, this journey from homesick mess to happy resident wasn't a straight line, but it all started with that one decision, to stop looking backward and start building forward. So I want to ask you, what's one thing that helped you the most while living abroad? Drop your story in the comments below. I genuinely love to read it, and I know it'll help other people in this community too. Feeling overwhelmed when you move to a new country is part of the deal. But you have the power to change your experience. It takes guts to let go of what's familiar, but when you do, you make room for something pretty amazing to grow in its place. If you found this helpful, give it a like and subscribe for more real talk about expat life in Australia. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.